We've got the new Nio EL6 ready for viewing. We'll show you today from exterior to interior, then take it for a thrilling test drive. That means in this video, you'll get to know everything about the brand new Nio EL6. In a second video, a few days later, there will be a consumption drive at 100, 120, 140, 160 km/h. We're doing the charging check from 10 to 80%. And of course, we're also testing the travel comfort and the assistance systems on the highway. To make sure you don't miss any videos in the future, I'd like to ask you to check if you're part of the Electrify Your Ride community. We'd be thrilled if you could support us with a subscription. And now let's dive into the brand new Nio EL6. And as always, we start from the outside, starting from the front, and want to take a look at the brand new Nio EL6 from the outside. And there we spot the classic Nio design, which we also introduced to you in the video with the Nio ET5 Touring. Now, in the modern and sleek SUV style and with the innovative new EL6 comes standard equipped with advanced matrix LED headlights. I think that's really great. We've got air curtains here designed to direct the airflow around the vehicle as efficiently as possible. And it makes an impact, because Nio has succeeded in giving the vehicle a drag coefficient of 0.25. That's not at all a bad value for SUVs, actually. And there, I truly believe, quite a lot of exceptional brainpower has indeed also gone into the car. Yes, it actually comes to 245/45 R20-inch. Those are indeed quite attractive rims, which of course are notably more dedicated to aerodynamics rather than merely focusing on aesthetics. What divides you, my friends, is this highly advanced camera technology and the LiDAR sensor we've installed. It seems some don't fully appreciate the unique, distinctive aesthetic these innovations bring to our gear. Please do not hesitate to leave a comment expressing how you personally view this situation. That would be some meaningful feedback on the vehicle as well. Yes, a 360-degree camera is on board. We have here for the various assistance systems, then also quite suitable. Cameras shining into the blind spot here. We've got retractable door handles. It's here in a lovely color. Stefan researched it. What's it called again?
Stratosphere Blue.
Metallic, I believe. Looks very, very nice. And we've got this two-tone thing going on here. Glossy black, then with the matching color. Looks extremely chic. And back here, in this large black element of the C-pillar from the outside, is actually hiding a large window pane. That's supposed to enhance the all-around visibility. We'll definitely take a closer look at that together later on. Yes, shark fins, I'm really not a fan of those anyway. Here is yet another interesting camera integrated. Then also for the partially autonomous and later perhaps for the fully autonomous driving. That's exactly what Nio's planning. And the rear windshield wiper, will it be there or not, Stefan?
We'll see later, but I really see nothing.
Indeed, Nio has ingeniously integrated it right up here in the rear spoiler, just as if you're always watching our videos, where we point out how nicely it can be integrated. Because in this particular way, this, in my honest and considered opinion, beautiful design with the seamless LED light strip isn't at all ruined by the presence of a rear wiper. Kind of reminds you of the Porsche Cayenne, doesn't it?
Yes, I would say so.
So the enthusiast knows and is aware it's a Nio EL6, but for those unfamiliar, right?
Yes, that might be misguided actually.
Exactly. Let's get to the data, dear Stefan. We've got here 4.85 meters in length. I simply can't lift that using just my arms. 5 feet 7 inches in height. I'm 6 feet 1 inch tall, so I am therefore quite a sizable SUV in overall dimension. It spans 1.99 meters in width, and with the side mirrors, it extends over 2.20 meters wide. This means that at many construction sites where there's just a width of 2.10 meters, it wouldn't be allowed to drive on the left lane. Yes, the wheelbase is a good 2.90 meters, and we have here also integrated the battery pack into the wheelbase. You have two options there. It starts at just over 53,000 euros at the moment without a battery. Then you can go for the 75 kilowatt battery, currently priced at 12K, or opt for a 100 kilowatt battery. That means another 21K will be added. 75 kilowatt hours means 70.5 kilowatt hours net, and the 100 kilowatt hours battery means 90 kilowatt hours net in the receiver. You can also rent this on a monthly basis though. You can lease or refinance the entire vehicle on a monthly basis. And there's also from Nio a quite fascinating battery model with very, very appealing run times from very short to very long. I strongly believe it's up to 60 months where you can get this comprehensive all-inclusive package. Our subject has the 75 kilowatt hour battery installed with 70.5 kilowatt hours net. and has its charging port here at the back on the driver's side, which also opens electrically. That, I believe, belongs to a premium vehicle. My old Mercedes EQS required manual unlocking. You come with a standard 3-phase AC 11 kWh on board, and with the smaller battery, DC charging up to 140 kWh at peak. With the big battery, up to 175 kWh at the peak. I believe with the Nio ET5 Touring, we even hit 180, right, Stefan? Yeah, I remember that.
We have definitely got the record now, right?
Right. This means with the launch of the Nio EL6 at the beginning, I believe it was 2024 if I remember correctly, there was also a second battery module introduced to the market, which was supposed to enable much faster charging, so that both the 75 kilowatt battery and the 100 kilowatt battery then significantly can be charged in under 30 minutes on long journeys. What works electrically
Closes electrically.
That's how it's supposed to be, and that's how it works with the Nio EL6. We haven't even talked about the capabilities of the Nio EL6 yet. It has two electric motors, one on the front axle, one on the rear axle. Naturally, this includes all-wheel drive with 360 kilowatts, translating to 489 horsepower and over 700 Newton meters of torque, enabling it to accelerate from 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds. We'll give that a try, Stefan, won't we? Yes, I think an SUV like that is a real high performance is what it is, and it's supposed to hit a top speed of 200 km/h, which we'll also test in the second video during our consumption drive. So I'm really excited to see what Nio has to offer. Of course, I hope that they'd use some of this space in the front for a frunk, but unfortunately that's not the case. It means this area is completely filled with technology, the electric motor, possibly charging equipment, maybe air conditioning systems and so on. I find it a bit disappointing because if you think about it, the new Porsche Macan, for example, has a frunk installed. The Taycan had a frunk. So many manufacturers, like Tesla, manage to use that space for charging equipment as well. That's always important in messy weather, when it's raining or there's mud or snow. So you don't have to mix your dirty charging cable with your luggage. Nicely insulated hood lifters, that's what I expect from premium. Now let's see what Nio steel aluminum sounds like, shall we?
And 3, 2, 1.
Oh, indeed full. Many of you rightly or wrongly say, why should I really, truly, deeply care about a frunk anyway? In need of a drink, my gaze is drawn to Nio's trunk. Using its electric feature, I find a spacious 5 7/9 liters, mirroring the Skoda Enyaq's utility and convenience, appealing to those valuing efficiency and style. Where we have right here a very nice double floor setup, meaning that just underneath it goes down deep once more, where you, for example, can easily stow away charging cables, various tools, and other essential equipment. And what Nio understands by premium is, of course, to line everything nicely with carpet here as well. Everything looks super, super sleek and really quite good. I absolutely, definitely have to say, this is an incredibly great story, especially right here at the forefront with this beautifully anodized aluminum that you don't often see. All scratched up. I think it's really, really awesome indeed. What you can do, of course, is accordingly using the coat hooks here. I actually thought that was the button for the back seat, Stefan. Yes.
Apparently not.
Yeah, fat chance, right?
Manual.
Yes, indeed. It is possible that 579 liters can effectively be expanded. Firstly, by carefully unfolding the 20% located right here in the middle. This is crucial for carrying something long from the hardware store or your skis when you're heading to the ski vacation. And then you have the option to additionally fold down the respective 40% of the passenger and driver's side so that the Nio's cargo volume increases from 579 liters to over 1,400 liters. That's obviously brilliant because that way you can even fit in your mother-in-law's wardrobe. Let me guess what opens electrically?
Closes electrically.
That's how it should be, also with the Nio EL6. And if the luggage capacity of over 1,400 liters isn't enough for you, you have the option right here on the glossy black roof rail to mount, for instance, a roof rack with a ski box where you can move additional luggage with a 75 kilogram support load. Optionally, you can also get, I believe, for a good 1,000 euros, then another tow hitch, which you can easily extend and then retract through the display accordingly as needed. I sort of miss a button back here because I don't want to run to the front all the time, right? Yes, of course, the inclusion of spring-loaded rear seats or electric ones would certainly have been quite nice in the premium segment, right? A bit of constructive criticism might be
Yeah.
pertinent for future model updates. Right. But getting back to the towing hitch, you've got an unbraked trailer load of 750 kilograms and braked 1.2 tons. And there, I think, lies the crux of the matter for some of you, because many of you indeed want to lead horses. The sports boat, the large caravan to travel on vacation. I'm thinking of our Dutch friends right now. Shout outs to everyone. I mean, we'd wish for more flexibility, right? That'd be nice.
Schon gewesen, ja.
And other
Ja,
manufacturers prove that they can hit 2 tons or even 2.5 tons. So NIO, please make improvements on that in the future. We've shown you everything on the outside. Let's go inside, and there, I must pay NIO a compliment after that brief criticism. Just look, you tap it and the door comes towards you a bit, and when you close the door, standardly, you have soft close features on board. These are indeed all those small, subtle nuances that one earnestly desires in the premium segment. With NIO, that's standard. In my EQS, I believe it's supposed to come at some point with the model update. Well, I really must say, NIO has truly and very thoroughly thought about how to apply premium features here as well indeed. Yes, let's head inside. First off, we need to check, do we have double glazing? Tight, tight, tight. Look, 2 thin slices bonded with a film. We want to explore that with you later, how they're. Accordingly, then also, the interior noise levels are, yes, door trim Nio EL6. Up here, we've got a nice soft padded plastic. Looks quite high quality too. Then we have this faux leather here with a nice seam. We only have the window control here. I think it's important to always have it within easy reach. And here we have the innovative electric door opener, which is then essentially used to already slightly open up the door for us. Emergency releases here too. We've got a nice fabric cover, which I approve. Much better than hard plastic. Down here, there's at least a rubber mat, but NIO. Here too, hard plastic is used. I think we probably won't get that away from the car manufacturers anymore, right?
I doubt that too.
Except for Lotus, they're indeed quite a bit spicier over there. Welcome to the remarkably elegant interior of the Nio EL6, and here as well. The design language of new, in my opinion, speaks volumes, which we've also had the chance to familiarize ourselves with in the Nio ET5, albeit in a similar fashion. Let's start chronologically with what I believe to be the standout display, which has been improved upon compared to previous models or the variants that were released earlier. Then, in terms of display and viewing options, I must say it makes a smooth and solid impression right off the bat and isn't such an annoying head-up display that overloads you with all sorts of things. The large driver's display is also very well executed, although personally, I might have wished for its positioning to be a bit lower. Since I constantly adjust the steering wheel, ensuring I don't cover the bicycle's display screen. The steering wheel looks very, very nice, and it's two-toned. We have a light interior, we'll show that from the side soon. Outside it's pitch black, and inside in this soft light grey it looks very, very nice indeed. We have tactile buttons here on one hand to control the assistance systems and on the other to manage infotainment things. I must say, it's really well done and it looks extremely high quality. The electric adjustment works just like the exterior mirrors here through the central display. Nomi is on board, but not Nomi Marte. You know this from the Nio ET5, this little sweet being who always winks and smiles at you. I kind of miss her, don't I, Stefan? I mean, Naomi always does it super sweet, actually. That's the central infotainment display there. It really divides opinion, doesn't it? It does have a sort of rectangularity, but more towards the vertical than the horizontal. Many of you are saying, man, I really wished for a large horizontal display. I think it's quite enough in terms of size, right? Yes.
It fits perfectly just like that.
Because besides a charging break, when do you actually sit in the car and watch a movie or a series? I think, just to take a quick look at a nice simple electric sequence while charging, the display size is completely adequate in my eyes. The processor behind this, it's quite smooth indeed. Let's dive deeper into the menu structures now. I have to say, that's at least on par with Tesla in every case. Why Tesla? Because it's always been the benchmark for me, how you can switch between menus really, really quickly. And Nio has really installed a super fast processor here, and something you need to know, at my place, the air vents, they're up here behind this wood applique, though I am not sure if it's not just plastic that's been printed on. I would need to check my description again, but it looks very, very high quality, hidden. And here you have the possibility to adjust it by swiping, which I find mega complicated. It's always important to me that I get indirect ventilation, and I must say it's exceptionally excellent here in the NIO. Whether one prefers warm or cold temperatures, they never actually blow directly in your face because they really dislike it, and offers an exceptional adjustment feature. So this is actually even a notch better than what we've experienced in a Tesla, right? Yes. Gear selector is nicely hidden over here with the park button. We have got a shortcut button right here to access the various driving modes. The most important thing for us, you're also on the move performantly. Sport Plus with the 4.5 seconds acceleration, hazard lights, central locking control. We've got a nice inductive charging pad here, though I might have wished for a double one because Stefan also wants to charge his phone while driving. In that case, only a wired connection helps. 2 cup holders, but everything here also in a very soft, high-quality plastic. I find that color really cool. And then we have here an armrest that can be opened, where I believe there were also charging ports, right, Steph? But somehow in our test car, the situation seemed to get somewhat more compromised than we initially expected, stretching our limits. Somehow I really do think something's definitely not quite right here. Yes, somehow we'll see later on, the tire pressure sensors are causing a bit of trouble here, but these are all minor issues that can be resolved. And last but not least, we have here a very, very beautiful microfiber headliner. You see, I quite affectionately and fondly name it Alcantara.
However, that is known as Alcantara.
Yes, but it's not Alcantara. That's like a protected term. Yes, exactly. So let's just call it microfiber suede headliner now. Very, very nice. Huge opening. Extends beyond the second row of seats. And then take a look, please, Stefan. This is right up your alley. Right here. Such a huge panoramic sliding glass roof.
Yes, perfect for riding without.
Yes, exactly. Now in springtime, to let in just a little bit of the fresh Berlin air, it's absolutely ideal for enjoying those lovely 17, 18 degrees and having the helpful assistance. The question always is, where does Ollie put his ultra-modern brain bag, huh? And for that, Nio has created a compartment here with a second layer, where I believe even the largest lady's handbag can find its space, offering various options for storing items yet again. For one thing, we must realize the Nio EL6 doesn't have a glove compartment either.
That's a shame.
There's quite a debate about that, isn't there? Do we still need a glove compartment with large storage spaces nowadays, or do we not? Feel free to drop your opinion in the comments. Other than that, we've got this nice faux leather covering on the dashboard. Above is a soundbar, air vents, and then, well, this application that looks kind of like wood. Again, this kind of plastic faux leather down here in the two-tone design, wrapping around like this. Really high quality work indeed. The seats as well, they offer substantial side support, not perfect in the lumbar area though. Thigh support is arguably perceived as quite modest for 489 horsepower. That's certainly a very positive way to frame it. A bit of shoulder support here, that seemed, and then of course a comfortable headrest, which can be adjusted in and out as needed. And then here's the kicker, there are various comfort packages. I believe the basic one starts at a 1.5K premium, so quite fair. So you have seat ventilation, seat massage, and for an extra 500 euros, that's a 2K surcharge. You can get it for both the front and back. So you have seat ventilation and seat massage in the back as well. That's pretty classy, isn't it?
That's quite classy, yes.
And of course, my absolute highlight, which I'll show to you later because Stefan will be absolutely thrilled, making it very clear it's not me driving, but dear Stefan. Finally, I'm able to do my power nap in total peace without being awakened by anyone.
Yes, you'll awaken.
Stefan! Hey, I have just tried out this zero gravity mode here. So I've got to tell you, this is like totally awesome. Hang on, let me open the door. Here you can, and that's probably why you don't have a glove compartment. There's a footrest, but really act like a boss, right?
Yes, that's really nice too. Gives us a chance to do some power networking while charging, I'd say.
Yes, but how awesome is that? You're driving me all comfy to the next video shoot, and I get to nap here nicely. That's just an awesome story, right? What do you think? Well,
But of course,
What I'm curious about is if you take the 1,000 euros for this weightless seating position with a footrest, leg support and so forth. Feel free to drop a comment. Is this the latest hot stuff, a soothing relaxation chair, or are you like, oh man, the world doesn't really need this at all? Yes, we certainly want to see if Ollie fits quite nicely right here in the spacious back seats of the Nio EL6 luxury vehicle, and of course, we get in quite comfortably indeed. And back here in the rear, I must say, I'm sitting extremely comfortably because the seats are just firm, soft, comfortable. I know that sounds contradictory, but that's how it is. Just well cushioned. And the look over here, it's just super awesome, truly. You also have the unique option to adjust the tilt of the back seats electrically, but somehow right now it's not functioning properly at all. Though somewhat, yes.
You are indeed. He goes back too.
Go back, right? Yes, so it's just slightly like an inch or so. Then we have here a nice center armrest with 2 cup holders. What I'm missing here might just be a little stand for the tablet, even though I always wish when you can somehow with the headrest fold it down just to extend the center armrest, because you see, I'm actually quite snug here at the edge of the cup holder with my elbow.
Right, if you slip and have a coffee cup in there, you quickly get a wet elbow.
This might be due to my 99.9 kilo phase or simply my build. Yes, apart from that, it's really comfy to sit here. There's a child ISOFIX attachment on both the driver's and the passenger side by just lifting up the Velcro here. I think that's pretty okay. We also have what I fondly call the 3-zone display back here to then, of course, control the 4-zone climate control. And maybe then also massage features, seat ventilation, and various other stuff if you have those on board. Here. Really quite disappointing, Stefan. There's just one USB-C port available, not 2.
Well, let's not start a fight back here, okay?
Well, if pushed, there's likely a Y cable for a double plug. But of course, it would be better if he had it double. Yes, back here there's a nice plastic that feels high quality. But here too, I'm kind of missing a bag, you know, to put in a newspaper, a tablet or something. Maybe his smartphone. Back here, I'm not sure if that's an option. But I doubt it, you know, like rear seat entertainment, right? So it would be kind of cool if Nio had like a small holder here where you could just clip a pad onto it. It doesn't have to be some rear seat entertainment system for thousands of euros from the manufacturer, but rather a smart solution like being able to clip a tablet here for the kids and ideally maybe even having a power supply. That the ladies and gentlemen in the second row are also entertained as best as possible. Yes, flat loading floor. I've got plenty of space here. Yes, there's not really much to note, is there?
No, everything's actually fine.
Above all, the panoramic roof.
That's always very lovely, of course.
We've shown you everything outside. We've shown you everything inside. Now, I'm really psyched to kick things off with you guys and unleash the 360 kilologs of this AWD system. Stefan, come in. We're starting with the driving review. Many of you are indeed bothered by the turning circle on a large electric SUV. The Nio EL6, as I'm circling around Stefan, is said to have a turning radius of just over 12 meters. As far as I know, he hasn't installed rear-wheel steering, Stefan, right? Check it again.
No, he didn't. Still, yes.
12.2 meters isn't exactly top-notch, since Mercedes, for instance, achieves 11 meters with their EQS SUV, which is a whole meter less. It's essential to have not just good parking, but an effective, top-tier system or an advanced camera system. Nio has dedicated much effort, brain power, and innovation to planning, developing, and refining its system for unmatched performance and satisfaction. We have good guidelines. We have, in my opinion, a nice large monitor that's also very, very sharp and relatively transfers the values in real time here as well. You have the opportunity here to admire the rims once again, very nice. I fully support the idea that cars should have mirrors without any manual adjustment capability, only digital displays. When you're able to nicely display the rim edges right here.
Before sliding into any construction site or something, that's not what you want here.
So, I think Nio has really done a great job with this. Also, a nice front camera for moving forward to get out of those parking spots. Here you can actually see how well these camera and ladder systems work because you can truly recognize all the surrounding vehicles. Yes.
Super cool, and with pedestrians too.
So, eager to test the vehicle's fuel efficiency with the check to see it unfold on the highway. So I have to say, the Nio assistance system which was already quite good in the ET5. Might even be better here in the EL6, since it's an advancement of the previous version, right?
So technically, I think he's got quite a lot going for him.
We've embarked on the test drive here with the Nio EL6. The connoisseurs know and understand that today we filmed near the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. Right, Stefan? Yes, very good. It's also important that such a car doesn't make any noise on cobblestones. Somehow our center console, it seems to be making some noises. It's sadly broken, isn't it? But otherwise it moves well, right?
He does well, yeah.
Quite nice and comfy too.
Yes. It's a bit soft for me, I think, the suspension. So it does absorb the bumps somewhat.
We've already covered quite a few kilometers through Berlin. And look, Stefan, it's really doing well on consumption, I think, with 16.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We must never forget, the car we have here comes with a weight of exactly 2.3 tons when equipped with the smaller battery. I think, with the significantly larger battery installed, it even exceeds 2.4 tons. And I really must say, for such an impressive SUV, for such a beast, right?
Yes, for swimming, it really does well, low consumption.
Also offers quite nice recuperation, which can be adjusted and precisely controlled in 3 distinct specific stages accordingly. What he might not possess is this unadulterated one-pedal driving experience, which lets him come to a full stop just like that. But I must say I use it less and less. At first I thought it was totally cool, you remember, with the Tesla Model S performance? Yes, but meanwhile, when it starts to kind of crawl, I believe that's what they call it, crawling, especially when there's a lot of stop-and-go driving, like in Berlin. Sometimes this creep mode is kind of handy, right?
Yes, before you have to start over each time, or put another way, give it gas again.
Of course, it is always absolutely best when you have the freedom to choose. We've just now hit the bustling, busy Berlin city motorway. And we are eager to try out the assistance systems with you, at least in the low-speed part of our tests, and have thus initiated the pilot mode here at a speed of 50 mm/h. This means you can clearly see that the truck isn't going 80, but over 80 km/h, and is overtaking us here in the middle lane.
Ice cold.
Not bad either, right? Yeah.
Future straight, you know?
But it keeps a really, really nice hold of the lane center. You don't have that constant dinging and donging either. So the vehicle drives itself within a certain area here and operates successfully in semi-autonomous mode. I truly believe you can actually get an advanced lane change assistant too. I'm not entirely sure at the present moment how exactly it works, Stefan, am I right? Or does it perhaps not exist at all?
Earlier, while browsing through the menu, I somehow stumbled upon something, but I'm not quite sure if you can activate it.
I think he'd probably have to show us an open space again then. The complex systems, they invariably possess these unique and special features that you don't notice at first glance. Yes, now the pace has shifted to 100. That also signals to us that it's feasible. You'll need to press the button for faster up, for slower down. This means it doesn't have the adaptive regulations that we're used to from Audi, BMW, Mercedes, and Porsche InnoDrive, where it then automatically adjusts the speed, but rather manually here. And I know from several viewers that they even prefer it that way.
Yes, if confirmation is still required. But better to be predictive, really.
So I'd really like to get your feedback on that too. Please feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you prefer the car itself to adjust the speed automatically, or would you rather have the driver take control manually, since you folks always seem to like to... Well, wake up. We found the active lane change. It could only be activated here on the highway, so to speak. We're just running this, so it goes really, really nice and smooth. I've now shifted it all the way over to the right side. Now, let's have it change lanes, moving all the way to the left side as well. He's canceled it now. I don't even know why. Probably, maybe because I took my hands off the steering wheel. No, he didn't want to. That means, essentially, he really then has to, well, apparently enjoying an appropriate distance here. Now to the right, he seems to be making it again. Look at that, and it brakes nicely too. But why doesn't it want to turn left? What's happening over here, Nio? Well, right now, correct? Come on, Nio, there you have it. There we go. Isn't that wonderful, huh?
Perfect, very nice.
We're looking to measure the interior sounds with you here at 50 kph. 61, 62 decibels, even though the road surface here is quite rough and has a few bumps, it's handling it well. It's a bit louder than the Nio ET5 on smooth surfaces though. We're now driving at 70 km/h. Yes, about 62 to 64 decibels. He does that quite well again.
He keeps that, yes.
And for the sake of completeness, let's do 62 mph as well. .64 or even 65 decibels. That's considered a good value.
That is quite excellent for 100.
This means at higher speeds, double glazing probably pays off even more, right? Yes.
Oh, Sport Plus.
Yes, we aim to measure the acceleration. I'll go full throttle and it should go from 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds. Off he marches, confidently strutting along with great enthusiasm. I'm extremely curious to see what kind of value we're about to genuinely get here. The Draghi meticulously took measurements of its values going from 0 to 50 in precisely 2.08 seconds. Quite a smooth traffic light getaway, isn't it? Yes. 0 to 60 in 2.76, 0 to 100 in 6.12 seconds.
Rated at about 4.5. Honestly, it was quite disappointing if you really ask me.
I'm quite surprised myself now. And with that, let's move on to the conclusion of our first video with the Nio EL6. And I must say, I'm very pleasantly surprised. I think the exterior design is very futuristic. I find the interior design very well thought out. Every feature in this vehicle truly works in an exceptionally fine way. That's something one must indeed emphatically state. And perhaps one has to, like for instance a lane change assistant, get used to it over time. Kind of get used to it, you know. 360 kilowatts all-wheel drive, I must say, that's truly got power. Even in comfort mode, it moves forward nicely, but not excessively. When you switch to Sport Plus mode, it really shows its true colors and rockets forward, even if it might not exactly hit the manufacturer's claims. But we also must be a bit more fair, I think. Perhaps we don't have the ideal road conditions, ideal tire temperature, optimal grip, among other factors, contribute significantly. And we've got the battery at 44%. It might really be, of course, that it's also beginning to reduce the power somewhat by now. Yes, all in all, I believe, starting at 53,000 euros, you get an interesting premium SUV with soft close, various features, matrix LED headlights, a huge panoramic sunroof, large trunk, 579 liters, a lot of space inside, and perhaps a vehicle that's pleasantly different in a certain way from the uniformity that most European manufacturers offer to us. Nio here offers intriguing leasing financing terms and, particularly for some, an interesting subscription model where all costs are already included. I can only recommend you try out your own experience with the Nio EL6 and book a test drive, put it through its paces. What I can also recommend, of course, is the second part we're doing, with the consumption run and the charging check, to get a complete picture of the Nio EL6. And with that, we've come to the end of the first part. I hope you enjoyed the video. You give it a big thumbs up. Please, could you check again if you are indeed part of the Drive Electric community? If not, we'd appreciate it if you could support us with a subscription. And then you definitely won't miss out on part 2 with the consumption drive and charging test, especially if you've already rung the notification bell. Otherwise, I truly thank you for your continued support in watching. Say hello and see you soon. Yours, Ollie. You, Stefan? Yes. Well, I think matrix LEDs are almost standard in the premium segment these days, right? Yes.
That's already fantastic, right? Those are the best, aren't they?
Nice that the Nio EL6 has that feature.